Hey, you got a real one in here now. You got a real one in here. Y'all got a real one in here now.
What's up, man? What's going on out there, fight fans? It is the homie, Mainman Mademan in the building. Hey, man, y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing, man. Once again, it's on. Once again, fight fans, it is an honor and a pleasure. I repeat, an honor and a pleasure to rock out with the boxing fam and the boxing fans. What the hell is the day? Monday? You know what that means. It's our time now. It was the day Tuesday. Man, I'm all over the map today. Today is Tuesday, fight fans. Tuesday, March 1st. Y'all know what that means. It's our time now, man. I got to make up for some lost time, fight fans, so you know the homie sliding through. Hopefully I can get some of y'all home. Thumbs up as you pull up. You already know. Thumbs up as you pull up. Salute to the homies that catch this live. And a major salute to everybody that catches this on the playback, man. It is always an honor and a pleasure to get up on here and rock out with the fam. I got fam pulling on in, man. What's up, man? D-Lo 44 Boxing, my brother. What's up? The voice of reason is on deck. What's up, champion? What's up with you, man? Salah Farah, I see you in the house. Dropping that boxing knowledge. That's it. Mainman Mademan on deck for you, fam. We on deck. You know what I'm saying? My OG, Mike Rhyme, I see you. What's up, Mike? What's going on with you? What's up, peeps? Man, we coolin'. I hope everybody having a cool ass week. You know what I'm saying? Keisha Sellers is on deck. What's up, family? Keisha, how you doing, sis? I hope you chilling out there. Charles Stevens is on deck. Mark Wood is on deck. What's up with you? Oh, man, my main man, 100 grand, Stephen Gannon. One of my day ones right there, man. Oh, man. Hey, Stephen Gannon, salute to you. That is one of my oldest blue suits right there, fight fans. To see my homie Stephen Gannon in the building ain't nothing short of a pleasure, bro. I hope all is well out there on your part of the world, fam. And I hope all is good, man. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. That makes me feel good. It's going to be a cool-ass stream, fight fans. A cool-ass stream. I'm about to get right in front of y'all right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, we gonna roll on through these topics. Muhammad Ali, what's up, brother? What's going on with you? Chilling. Let me get this music down, fight fans. I don't want it too crunk, you know what I'm saying? We gonna move through the boxing topics. Like I said, fight fam, I apologize for Sunday. I was exhausted, man. I couldn't lift a bone in my body Sunday evening, fight fans. So, hey, you know, it goes that way sometimes, you know what I'm saying? But we did a good amount of streaming over the weekend, which was kind of cool. We covered the Josh Taylor fights the last time we was here. We covered also the Gary Antoine Russell fights, which, man, I'm still blown away from that performance from my man Gary Antoine Russell. You know what I'm saying? Also, the Josh Taylor situation, fam. I told y'all at the time that I felt as though Josh could have edged it maybe by one round. Went back and took a second viewing and even a third viewing of that fight. And I got to admit, like I said, I'm willing to go towards a draw. I think a draw could have been appropriate, but it was such a razor-thin close fight. I hear the fam. I heard y'all that night. You know what I mean? I heard Scotland loud and clear that night. And no one believes that Josh Taylor pulled that fight out. But, you know, I went back and watched it like I told everybody I would do. And I still see it close. But I did manage to take a round back from Josh Taylor that I originally gave him. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. So, you know, it looked like they moving forward with that situation. And it looks as if that Josh Taylor is, like we talked about that night, fight fans, has no appetite for 140 pounds. So, look like my boy going to be going up to 147 pounds. We going to see what the steps are. He's saying that Jack Catterall can meet him up there for a rematch for no damn belts. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure Jack Catterall probably don't even want to hear the name Josh Taylor right now. I seen some words from Catterall, and Catterall say dreams stolen. Damn, dreams stolen, fight fans. They stole the dreams of Jack Catterall and all of those belts. We'll see, man. I'm looking forward to the dispersing of those belts, and I'm looking forward to see all of the fighters that's going to make runs and go after those world titles. We got a lot of names we can throw in the basket. I want to see who gets into certain positions to go after those belts. I'm hoping my man Gary Antoine Russell can make a run. But hell, before we even get there, fight fans, my boy got to enter into the top 10 of a sanctioning body first. So let's hope with his win over Victor Postal, we get a top 10 ranking, and then we on our way. You feel me? I like that. I like this situation for Devin Haney. Once again, Devin Haney now he can move up. If Josh Taylor gets rid of that WBC, he needs to be putting himself into position right now to possibly move up and make a run for that title. Unless you're going to plan on running into Gary Antoine, of course. You feel me? So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to see exactly the route that Josh Taylor is going to go once he goes up to 47. Knowing what's playing out at the welterweight division, we know that Terrence Crawford will be perhaps the best decision. But time will tell. Stephen Gannon says, yo, listen, I support Dillian Whyte, but this is fixed up. What he is doing in all of this radio silence is not a good look for him. We're going to get there, Stephen. We're going to definitely get there. My brother DJ Zion Love is in the house. What's up, champ? Heavy Lefty. I see you, family. What's up with you, Heavy Lefty? Main man, what up? The Russells is the truth. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He going to put the DMV back on the map the way I know he going to do. And I'm really, really looking forward to it. You know what I mean? Great performance. The first fighter to stop Victor Postal. That ain't easy, fight fans. That ain't easy. Give the kid credit. A lot of people who criticizing the stoppage, man, the ref jumped in there too early. Whatever. I may even agree with you. But that's not Gary Antoine's issue or his fault. The fact is that ref saw whatever that ref saw from whatever angle he was standing. If y'all want to say Victor Postal wasn't gone, I'll agree with you. But I will also say, take a second look, and you will see that Victor Postal was also giving nothing back. And I told y'all before, that's one of the golden things where a ref would jump in and stop a fight. If you're giving nothing back. Yeah, you may be in survival mode up against the ropes taking punches, but you still got to give something back. You know what I mean? Take it for what it is, fight fans. So let's move through to some of the more, I guess, up-to-date boxing topics or what's going on around the sport. We got a lot to talk about, man. There's a lot of cages to rattle around the sport. So y'all know how we do here when we talking boxing. We start off light and we get heavy and heavier pretty much as the topics go along. So where we gonna start off? Let's start off something very light. I caught this over there on Michael Benson's Twitter right here, fight fans. And I don't know if y'all see this. Oh, let me lift this up some for y'all so y'all can get a better view of this. All right, bow. There y'all go right there. So y'all, I don't know if y'all caught the news about this. We know what's going on the other side of the world right now. And it's heartbreaking to see a lot of the stuff that they putting on the news. But we know what's going on over there. And it looks like this is having some ripple effects around the boxing world. According to Michael Benson, the boxing reporter, he says that the WBC, the IBF, and the WBO have now stated that they will no longer certify title fights involving boxers from Russia. Following Vladimir Putin's thing of Ukraine, appears this may impact Artur Beterbiev versus Joe Smith Jr. But the WBA is not involved, so not Canelo Alverez versus Dmitry Bivol. So it looks as if in this case right here, every sanctioning body, fight fans, with the exception, I don't see the IBO up there, but pretty much every sanctioning body is saying that they are not going to certify any title fights involving boxers from Russia. And then I got to tell you, man, this could just show you, fight fans, how far that money in boxing, or if you want to call it greed, how far a certain level of greed in boxing goes. We all know that Canelo Alverez is facing Dmitry Bivol. And we know this is the reason that the WBA is going to stand on the sidelines for this. Let's call it for what it is. They are not going to miss out on a huge sanctioning fee between Canelo Alverez and Dmitry Bivol. Now, this stance can possibly change or be dropped by the time they fight sometime in May. May 7th. But my thing is, this just goes to show you, no matter what the cause may be, there ain't going to be nothing that stops a sanctioning body from getting their money, fight fans. I wonder if Canelo Alvarez was going for undisputed, or if he was defending down at 168 pounds where he has all belts, will they still have taken this same stance? Will all of the sanctioning bodies still be on board? Because it's real beneficial. I mean, other than the Charlo situation, well, that don't matter. I mean, as far as a Russian fighter, the only other Russian fighter is the Beterbiev and Joe Smith situation that's playing out. And that might get swept off, they're saying. Will they really do this? Or is this just Lip service, I'm wondering. Are they really going to make a stand like this? And if they did do this and the WBA doesn't follow suit, it's just going to look like greed in my eyes. It's going to look like everybody tried to stand united on a united front, but the WBA because they wanted that Canelo money. Everybody wants the Canelo money. If it ain't at the networks, if it ain't DAZN or an app, if it ain't a promoter, everybody wants to be in the Canelo bit. It don't matter what the political stance. It doesn't matter what the cause. They are not going to miss out on the Canelo money. WBA like, now y'all pick a fine time to want to have a stance like this. Nobody ain't want to never have a stance like this before. Now y'all want to pick a fine time when we got Bivol versus Canelo. That goes to show you, fight fans, there's no cause too great for the money in boxing. Tell me I'm lying. I'm just saying. They standing in solidarity. I mean, to be honest with you, I really do want to see that Beterbiev and Joe Smith fight. That's a damn good ass fight. And that's a unification fight. That's for three titles, man. There's only one left after that. And they think they can use that fight to maybe somehow, some way box Canelo in and have him go for undisputed. You know what, man? Look, not the biggest fan of that, but if it happened that way, look, that's still better than going towards Gennady Golovkin. I'm just saying. I'd take anything over Gennady Golovkin. That's just me, though. But this is the WBA stance, fight fans. They're going to still participate. The other sanctioning bodies are standing on the sidelines. We will see if Beterbiev versus Joe Smith Jr. happens or not. Or we'll see if this is all some temporary lip service. Because what I see a lot of going on right now is a lot of photo ops, a lot of lip service. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. DJ Zion Love says, even Mr. P-Man wants the Canelo money too. Yeah, man. Hey, everybody involved in the Canelo business. Ain't no cause great enough, Joe. They are not going to miss that fight. Anything for Canelo Alverez. You know what I'm saying? So y'all keep your eyes on this rule. We'll see how long this stands. There haven't been like no time frames on when this ends, or maybe it ends according to what's going on over there or whatnot. So maybe that's how it all goes. Whether I agree with this stance or not, pretty much I'm in agreement with it. I mean, this is how normally things go during, times like this in the world. A lot of whatever country is initiating certain things, they get X'd out of a lot of things. So things just normally go this way during these times in the world. And I'm trying to be real specific for YouTube purposes, fight fans. So at the end of the day, when times like this in the world, things like this just got to happen. So we'll see. Russia's already been teetering on the edge with the Olympics. We all know that. They've, with all of the accusations that they've had through the Olympics through the years, they were already like on the verge of damn near being kicked out of boxing. You know what I'm saying? With all of the PED allegations and everything like that, the Russia teams, testing positive here, testing positive there. So they were already like really on the edge. That's why, Alexander Povetkin was so important over there, believe it or not. Alexander Povetkin was one of the guys carrying the mantle of that for a real long time. And look how many times he popped. You know what I'm saying? So he was like one of their last hopes. That's why they kept pushing him out there at that time. And until, of course, the guys we got now came along. But it was always Alexander Povetkin, backed by a billionaire. It's crazy. That's crazy. Let's move on to the next one, man. News out with this, man. This is some good news. I'm happy to talk about this real quick before we move on to something a little bit more heavy, fight fans. I'm just real happy to talk about this. And I want to give credit where credit is due, like I've been doing the whole time involved in this fight about Amir Khan and Kell Brook. So there's reporting out about Amir Khan and Kell Brook and but what happened with their fight. And it's being said and reported that their fight was a huge success. As far as what it did on pay-per-view, what their drawing power was, it was a huge success. Now, we got no official numbers to show what type of success, but according to the talk and the reportings that's coming out, these numbers that they did are going to rival Anthony Joshua's. They're going to rival Anthony Joshua's. According to Ben Shalom, promoter over at Boxer, the promotional company that promoted this fight over there on Sky Sports. He says, and I quote, "It's a monster and it's still growing. People are still buying it and repeatedly watching it. discussing how fascinating the event was, from the bad blood to the glove drama in the ring. Shalom couldn't be happier with the turnout. He says that it was such a spectacular vision on television. When you watch the ring walks backs and the main event back, it was incredible. The numbers are special and very close to Anthony Joshua figures, end quote. I want to say once again, fight fans, congratulations to Kell Brook and Amir Khan. Regardless of how late it was, they still gave the fans the fight that they wanted to see before they hang them up. I'm all for that. I'm all for praising and cheering when fighters give the fans something that they want to see. And when the fans respond in a positive way, I think that's good shit. And I hope that all of these suits and any of these promoters take note. Even if, like I said before, fight fans, we might wasn't tripping super heavy like that over here in America, but they was tripping like that over in the UK. And they showed up, they showed out, they supported these dudes, even in their twilight years of their career. And they appreciated the fight that they gave for them. They appreciated the whole event. And I want this type of energy, this type of vibe to spread around boxing, given the fights that the fans want to see. It works. It freaking works. Imagine that, fight fans. It actually works. You know what I mean? So I'm loving it. Salute to my homie Felix Nunez that is on deck. Sup to you, Felix. I'm chilling. I appreciate you riding with me tonight. It's JP says, are we ever going to see Charlo versus Boo Boo? I hope so. I'm with it. I'm definitely with it. So I hope we do. Charlo don't want that fight, says Salah Farah. It's a bad matchup for him. Ooh, y'all ready to talk about that? We gonna get there. We gonna definitely get there. I hope Charlo do something, though. I definitely hope he do something. But I just want to give these dudes their flowers, man. I've been doing that ever since this event been announced, the whole time through, and I want to see it all the way through. I'm glad that they gave us this fight. I'm glad that this was a success. And I'm glad that they finally gave the fans a fight that they've been asking for a very long time. But they finally gave the fans something that they've been asking for. You know what I'm saying? So I'm all with that. So salute to Kell Brook and Amir Khan, man. So let's keep it pushing, fight fans. Let's keep it pushing. So let's go to this. Hold on. Let's go to this one. Let's start right here before we get to the Canelo stuff, man. Because I know y'all want to go there. But let's go here, man. This was huge. This was huge. What the hell happened right here, fight fans? Just like my homie Stephen Gannon was talking about at the top of the program. Allow me to mute the music for a second here. Just like Stephen Gannon was just talking about at the top of the program, Dillian Whyte pulling a no-show today for the press conference between him and Tyson Fury. This was the first press conference that was supposed to go down between Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte. A lot of the fans say, yo, main man, Dillian Whyte says he been wanting a shot for 100,000 days. He says that everybody been overlooking him. They've been doing him wrong. So now he finally has his shot. And his ass don't even show up to the press conference to sell the fight. What kind of crap is this, man? Now, y'all know me, man. I'm never really 2 seconds off Dillian Whyte anyway. And I always got a lot to say about Dillian, Pillion. But however, this ain't one of those times. I actually, as crazy as this may sound, I actually agree with Dillian Whyte. I agree with his position. I agree with his stance. Consequences and repercussions are going on, right? Every action has a reaction, fight fans. If you try to screw me, don't expect for me to come to the table and be your best buddy. And that's the case with Dillian Whyte. I seriously don't blame him. Let's put all of this into perspective, fight fans. So I want everybody to be crystal clear on the facts as to why Dillian Whyte ain't showing up for this whole deal right here. So now we know we got Bob Arum. Bob Arum has already came out and kind of let the goods out the bag real quick, and he told the world as to why Dillian Whyte is not coming to the press conference. The quotes are floating around out there. I put them right here in front of you, right here on your screen. According to Bob Arum, he will not come to the press conference. We won the purse bid, which was way higher than the next biggest bid. And he is not coming to the press conference because we wouldn't give him a percentage of the upside from pay-per-view sales, which you don't get in a purse bid. He told us that he won't come to any of the press conferences except the last one, end quote. So basically, Dillian Whyte in his deal, we all know that this happened with purse bid. We know that Frank Warren put up a $40-something million bid and won the purse bid. And since they won the purse bid, they get to control things and do things as they see fit. They gave Dillian Whyte a terrible 80-20 split in this situation. And they told him basically you're accepting a flat rate of $8 million. And they're saying if you win, you'll get an additional $4 million, I believe. So they're giving him a flat rate of $8 million and nothing on the pay-per-view upside, which leads me to ask the question. It looked like Dillian's money is guaranteed here. So you mean that every pay-per-view that Dillian sells goes into Tyson Fury's pocket because he's getting nothing on the upside for pay-per-view. His money is in the bank. Whatever they're going to give him, fight fans. And if he gets out here and participate with the events and everything and blows it up and make this big beef, which is great for boxing, which is great for the fans and great for the fight. Do not misunderstand me. But if he does this, technically, he's not really helping himself. He's helping Tyson Fury and Frank Warren. They're the ones upset because they got to pay Tyson Fury all of that money. They got to pay that money. And if they don't got Dillian Whyte helping Tyson sell this, they probably sit around like, what the hell? Now, Bob Arum, it may not affect him as much as, say, Frank Warren, who is the UK promoter for Tyson Fury, and perhaps and is the one that put up all his money. Bob Arum like, oh, that's not my show. He spilled the beans on it. Because Frank Warren wasn't going down this route, fight fans. Frank Warren, and we're going to listen to some audio from the press conference, he was going down the route of trying to paint Dillian Whyte as some out-of-touch diva. Like Dillian Whyte was, oh, he's such a diva, and he thinks he's this and he's that, so he didn't, he asked for so much, and this is why he doesn't show. This is so unprofessional of Dillian. No. Dillian Whyte is right. Y'all didn't want to give him nothing on the pay-per-view, so what the hell is he selling? His shit is locked in. So I understand where Dillian is coming from here, fight fans. I understand where Dillian is coming from. So, Frank Warren. Now, let's go to the press conference that occurred today. So, Dillian Whyte doesn't want to show up because he's mad about them. Not to mention he's still in arbitration with the WBC, but he's mad about the money. He's mad about the fact that he ain't getting no upside, so he decides to not show. Smart guy. So this pisses off Frank Warren. So let's go to some audio real quick. And this is one of the things that Frank Warren had to say. Please, everybody, watch your ears. Watch your ears.
It's going to be phenomenal. And I'm telling you, the atmosphere is going to be brilliant. All we need, is unfortunately he's not here today, is the other side of the card to show up.
Sadly, no Dillian Whyte. We're all very disappointed about that. What can you say about that now, Frank?
What can you say about that now, Frank? Frank is sitting there hopping mad like, I don't have no way to sell this thing. Of course they're going to rely on Tyson Fury. Of course Tyson Fury going to talk all that talk. But Tyson Fury always needs someone to rise to the occasion for. He needs someone to play off, fight fans. That's what helps Tyson Fury to sell. I remember when Deontay Wilder went through the Silas Gold and Tyson Fury was forced to sell that third fight pretty much all on his own. The fight was already baked in because it was a trilogy. But Tyson Fury, I got to give him credit. I mean, he did the best that he could, but still, it was a hard sell just by himself. Looking at him kind of tell his full story and go through all of his motions, it kind of makes it a little dull after a while. It's always better when you got both of them there. But like Frank says, What would help us is if Dillian Whyte would have showed up. Frank Warren, audio number 2, fight fans, audio number 2.
WBC put the fight out for negotiations against the mandatory challenger. We couldn't reach agreed terms. We went to purse bids. We won the purse bids. We then had to fulfill certain criteria for the purse bid, which we'd done. Ticked all the boxes. He then signed a contract, which he left right to the last minute before he put in, and now he's trying to renegotiate. Well, that's why we had a period to agree terms.
I mean, I'm gonna stop right there. Can you really blame them, fight fans? I mean, can you really blame them? Honestly, like, and I get it. You shouldn't really concern yourself with what's going on with the other guy's pockets. But my thing is, if the other guy that's going to make all of that money, they're going to pay Tyson Fury with 30-something million or whatever they're going to give him, then fine, let him sell the shit. Let him sell it. He got to get it. He the one that got to get out here and get it. Everything he's selling is for him. Then let him sell it. He's this great attraction. Y'all are walking around saying that he will attract 100,000 in Wembley. I noticed that it's coming from Tyson Fury's lips, and I noticed it's coming from everyone else's. Oh, they 100,000 in Wembley, 90,000 in Wembley. Now, I know AJ did that. And I'm not saying that Tyson can't do it, especially him and Dillian Whyte in the UK. I'm not saying that they can't. But they better make sure damn well that they do. They better make sure damn well that they do. Because, I mean, y'all, they be walking around like Tyson's this great star. They giving him all of this money. He's a big star. They said he conquered America. He did all of this stuff. Let's see if that resonates without Dillian. I'm dying to see. Because when that happened over here, fight fans, it didn't go so well. When Tyson didn't have a Deontay Wilder or somebody like that, it didn't go very well for Tyson against Schwartz and all the rest of them clowns. So let's see how good he is at selling. Let's see, at least for Frank Warren's sake, because he seemed like to be the one sweating. Let's listen to on Frank Warren.
So that's where we got to it, and one of the things was that he wanted a private jet to fly me in and out today, but we said yesterday we'll do that. In writing, we'll do that. Then they started adding other stuff to it. They didn't even want to let us use his photograph on a poster.
I'm going to stop right there. So he said that Dillian Whyte asked for a private jet. And then when he asked for it, they said that they was going to give it to him, and then he turned around and asked for something else. Like he just out of touch. Like he's asking for everything under the sun. But Frank Warren is not mentioning the fact that he ain't getting no pay-per-view upside. Now, Bob mentioned it. Bob dropped that jewel. But Frank ain't mentioning it. Frank is talking about Dillian want jets. He wants to renegotiate. He wants more money. He's being tough. He's holding out. He's this, he's that. But when are you going to say, Frank, that whatever he said, whatever's selling here, he ain't getting none of it? When is anybody going to say that? That's the part that matters. You get me? He ain't saying that. He's talking about the contracts, and Dillian's a diva, and Dillian want private jets. He want a butler. He want a maid. He want everything. But you ain't telling him the fact that he also wants some pay-per-view upside. Let's listen to more to Frank.
You cannot use his image rights. I've never heard anything like it in my life. I mean, Brad's been doing this not as well. But maybe
almost as long as you.
Yeah, all as long as together. I've never experienced. I've never heard of a fighter never showing up for a press conference.
You've never also heard a fighter saying he'd get zero pay-per-view upside in a world championship fight like that. Like, I always thought it took two to tango. That's the rule that we've always kind of worked by. Now, I get it. Dillian Whyte ain't no star, and yeah, this is his biggest payday, main man. Tyson Fury gonna walk down the road and say that same shit. But, and like I said before, if y'all feel that way, he's still not obligated to sell nothing. He ain't, look, it don't matter. He ain't getting nothing more for that shit. The only way Dillian Whyte gets anything extra is if he defeats Tyson Fury. And so for that purpose alone, he says, screw the press conference on selling pay-per-views. I'd rather stay in camp so I can beat his ass. Since that's what they paying me for. That last I checked, that's what they paying me for. They not paying me to be the big time seller. I don't get no bonus if we hit a certain number. That's not what's being talked about here. What's being talked about here is they not giving him no upside, so he has no obligation to show up and sell. It's crazy. All he has an obligation to do is win. As crazy as that might sound. Because that's, like I said before, fam. That's what they paying him for. Let's listen to some more Frank Warren.
For a big fight, he's getting, I'm going to just refer to my notes here, he's getting 8 times more than Tyson got to fight Klitschko, an unbeaten fighter, when he went 8 times more. He's getting more than Joshua got paid to fight Martin. He's getting more than Usyk got to fight Joshua. Champions bank on themselves to win. That's what they do to become the king. You win the title, you get the money. The 20% is there. Any good fighters like Usyk did, went and beat Joshua, now he's in the big time. Ruiz done the same thing. Tyson did the same thing.
What percentage was I?
And everybody that they running through here, oh, this person did this, that person. Look, man, this is Dillian Whyte. This is this situation. You can't run around it. Look, it's not like he not accepting the fight. The way he talking at this point is like Dillian turned the fight down. Those talking points worked when he wasn't sure if he was going to sign the contract. Now, when he signed that contract, you can't run around, oh, well, this person did that person did. He took what y'all gave him. He ain't had no damn choice or he was going to lose his opportunity. So he took what y'all gave him. So you can't sit back and run around. No. His whole deal is he in this. He's involved. He just ain't selling shit. It's called give him a piece. If they would have gave him a piece, maybe he would have had an incentive to sell. It takes 2 to tango, fight fans. It takes 2 to tango. I wonder how many other fighters would ever start trying to do shit like this. I just wonder. When we talk about 2 to tango, one's this great seller. I always wonder if somebody would ever do this to Canelo. I don't think Canelo it would matter. His fan base is just too damn big and they just too solid. But I almost wonder would anybody else try to, oh, he's this, he getting everything, so why should I pop up and sell it? I don't know. I almost wonder. Let's see what the fam talking about. How y'all feel about this? I thought that White was waiting 686 days, man. What the hell? Yeah, he has been. But I understand his stance too. Like I said, man, it ain't like he running away from the fight. If I seen him running away from the fight, then I'd be questioning the same thing. He in the fight. He just ain't selling the shit. Just like when Deontay Wilder took his vow of silence for the reason he took it. He was in the fight. He never left the fight. He just said, I'm not playing this dude's game. Tyson Fury needs someone to play the games with. Dillian Whyte ain't trying to play the mental shit with him. He's not on social media. You don't see this dude doing no interviews. I actually respect his approach to this shit, especially since he ain't getting nothing extra for selling it. I respect his approach to it, to be honest with you. And be honest with you, this can have Tyson Fury head all over the place. Like, what's really going on with him? They say he never left Portugal. He's still over in Portugal training. No, that's right. Sorry, Frank. Look like you messed up. I mean, look, if y'all gonna play with him like that, then I don't blame him, man. I truly, truly don't. And this is Frank Warren's last little quote, fight fans.
Right. We are where we are, but Dillian Whyte isn't. He's in Portugal. He should be here. It's disgraceful that he's not here. It's not professional. If somebody else had won a purse bid, we would have helped to make that work. We'd have been Tyson or anybody, and he's done it. He goes to the press conference. This is madness.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, fight fans. I got to rock with Dillian on that one. Salute to my homie Coach Kennedy in the building, man. Frank Warren can be mad all he want. He can sit there with the fish eyes on blast. They could be bubbling up out of his head. He could be mad all he want. Bob Arum can be mad all they want. But when you give deals like this, don't be surprised that people gonna wise up and smarten up. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And they know that they sweating once again because they're the ones that, well, Frank is the one that put up all that money. He needs as many pay-per-views sold as possible. That is not Dillian Whyte's problem. Y'all want to put up all the money for the purse bid? Fine. Sell the shit. Give him a little small piece? Fine. Low Blow Champ says, Fury said, I took the train I took the train here. Yeah, all right. Took the train there, all right. Made a platinum, you know what I'm saying? Hey, he getting all the money. He getting all of the money. You know what I'm saying? DGO says, yo, what's up, family? He said, yo, Whyte is actually getting in their skin with this tactic. I think so too. I think so too. And I think over time, if he stays true to his word, either they're going to be forced to the table to give him more money and say, look, we need you to participate, because it ain't already going to sell like that here in America. They trying to get as much as they can possibly get. So who knows? He might be smart in the end. Listening to Bob Arum, they saying that they're going to rely squarely on Tyson Fury, and he good with that. Nah, that shit going to get dull, and it's going to get bored, and it's going to get goofy real fast. He can't keep saying the same stuff over and over and over again. We've heard it all before. We want to see the back and forth. We want to see the fire. You want people to come to this event? Yeah, you got to sell this event. And we need fire, back and forth. I guess we're going to get it in the very last press conference, fight fans, in the very last one. Let's listen to a little bit of what Tyson Fury was talking about. Now, I ain't got much from Tyson Fury because pretty much the whole press conference when he talked, he just pretty much said his normal stuff. He went through his whole, his whole health stuff and all of the stuff that he's been through and how he's going to beat this guy. He's a docile, he's a this, he's a that. And, like I said, it was a little heard it all before for me. Nothing really major there. The only really kind of good thing that I can get out of this, and I think the volume's kind of low, so y'all got to really listen in, fight fans, is what he had to say about Tyson Fury here.
Away, and I get to come back and showcase on the world's biggest stage at Wembley Stadium, 100,000 people there.
Once again, Tyson Fury talking about 100,000 people. 100,000 people. So it looks like that's the only one I did take. I thought I had another one, but all he was basically saying in there was just, Dillian Whyte could have a shot to put him on the floor, but he'll get back up. Tyson Fury don't feel like this fight is going to go beyond 6 rounds. And he felt like if pretty much Dillian Whyte put him down, he'll just get right back on up. And I can't wait to see this fight, man. I'm interested to know how this is going to play out. I favor Tyson Fury heavily in this matchup, fight fans. I favor him heavily. I just think that if we get late into this fight, that Dillian Whyte's stamina is going to be the major X factor here. And who knows, maybe I'm counting him out. He has been looking better fitness and better condition in his last couple fights. His workouts in Portugal has been working out pretty good with him ever since he parted ways with his trainer, Mark Tibbs. It looked like he's been looking like a pretty much of a different fighter, more of a patient fighter, willing to try to take his power deep into the fights without gassing out. And he cruised against Alexander Povetkin in that rematch, but Alexander Povetkin didn't look nearly as good as he did in that first fight. Dillian, I just think that fitness may be an issue with Tyson Fury leaning on him, laying on him towards the second half of a fight. I don't see Tyson Fury stopping Dillian Whyte early. I don't see that at all. I do see Dillian Whyte maybe hurting Tyson Fury once or twice throughout of the fight. But I think eventually Dillian blows his load somewhere throughout of the fight, man. And he has to deal with that big, sweaty, blubbery ass body of Tyson Fury leaning on him and just blubber all in his ears and in his face and all in his eyes and just all of this mountain of a man, Joe, all over him, putting his head down and grabbing him by the head and leaning on him. And I don't know if Dillian Whyte gonna get through a 12-round fight dealing with that. If Tyson Fury gets hurt, fight fans, by Dillian, that's going to be his survival tactic. We all have seen it a million times. He's going to tussle up. He's going to grab. He's going to hold. We all know that. And do any of y'all see Dillian Whyte being able, stamina-wise, to hang in there late into the fight with Tyson Fury landing and grab? And then even if Dillian Whyte comes out trying to box Tyson Fury like he did with Alexander Povetkin, do you see Dillian Whyte as even a more superior boxer than Tyson Fury? I don't see it. Salute to my brother Lewis Coleman on deck. Dillian is chilling and still gonna get his bread. It's guaranteed. 100%. 100%. Harold Trim says, will Whyte be labeled difficult to work with? No, I think this is smart. I think this is very, very smart. I think, if he had a promoter, if Eddie Hearn was ever in his ear telling him to do anything, this would be good advice he probably given him. hey, at the end of the day, Dillian Whyte, if he defeats Tyson Fury, promoters are going to come flocking regardless. That's something he don't have to worry about. That's, you beat Tyson Fury. That's marketable to the stars, 100%. As far as who will work with him, they will have no choice. They will have no choice, and he did it his way. And I'm going to tell you like this, bro. If Dillian Whyte beats Tyson Fury, that brother going to cry his ass off in the middle of that damn ring. Y'all can believe that shit. All that the dude been through, the allegations, the Revis fight, the Povetkin fight, all the 1,000,001 days or whatever the hell he said. Staying away from Luis King Kong Ortiz. All that Dillian has been through. And now in this, they playing with him in this situation. Because like I told y'all before, what makes this so bad for Dillian is the fact that Dillian in his mind, especially in the UK, always saw himself as an attraction. He saw himself as one of the big boys. He felt as though he was put on Sky Sports pay-per-view. He sold some units. His name ringing some bells in the country. So in UK, he always felt like he was one of the big boys. So for them to come in here and treat him like, who are you? That got to be a major blow to the psyche. I ain't gonna say in a bad way to Dillian, but it may motivate him to say, well, y'all don't see me as this, well, I'm gonna have to prove it. This is my moment right now. Y'all never gave me the respect. You tried to avoid me. You give me an 80-20 deal. After I've waited so damn long. You give me an 80-20 deal. Maybe this is fuel for Dillian to go in there and put Tyson on his ass. Tyson been living good, fight fans. Just those Wilder fights. A lot of money. Made a lot of money. Is Tyson the same? I'm just asking. Will he be able to rise to the occasion without Dillian Whyte? Will he stay motivated without Dillian Whyte? See, this is why this is a smart fight fan. Tyson Fury, he needs that energy to feed off. He needs it. Look at, and even in the Deontay Wilder 3 fight, right? When Deontay Wilder was playing it silent, Tyson Fury looked like a blimp in that fight. He wasn't like his best physical condition. He was a big ass blimp. Yeah, okay, he won. Granted. Softened my man Wilder up pretty good, but he did get on his ass. He did get put on his back in that fight. But look at his condition. He didn't rise up to the occasion. Some may say, well, Mainman, he did that purposely because of what he planned on doing with Deontay Wilder. We'll see, because before this fight, he ain't been looking good neither in training camp. We'll see. Dillian Whyte may prove to be the smartest man in the room by not participating. But we'll see. We shall see, fight fans. We shall see. My brother D-Lo says, yo, Povetkin was not fit to fight him, in my opinion. Yeah, that second time around, man, Povetkin was like a shell of what he was in that first fight. I don't know. Maybe he wasn't ready. I know he went through that C-19 after that first fight, so maybe that has something to do with it. If Dillian was really a body snatcher, he could make the fight much more manageable, but Dillian ain't that. Yeah, if he really a body snatcher, he better put it to work in this fight. That would be a major key to victory, man, to try to hit Tyson Fury to the body. Just beware of the leaning. You know what I'm saying? But I don't see it. I gotta, if he goes in there in those early rounds and he try to rush Fury and he blow his load, that's gonna be the worst thing for him, Joe. That's gonna be the worst thing. He's gonna want to take this pace. He's gonna want to pace this fight. And I'm not sure if he can outbox Fury. I'm not 100. I favor Fury heavily in that matchup, but he's got to preserve himself. He better not go in there rushing it. He took his time against Povetkin, and then the knockout came. But like you say, D-Lo, Povetkin wasn't Povetkin, but he did take his time, and the knockout came. He better look to do something similar to that here. Don't rush Tyson Fury. I don't think that's the way to go. Rushing Tyson Fury is just not smart. If Fury sense you huffing and puffing and you don't get him out of there, it's going to be lean, grab, hold, central. And you're going to be tired. After 2 rounds of that shit, you're going to be exhausted. Don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah, he worked tirelessly to call out Ortiz and stay away from him. At the same time, that takes talent. The art of ducking. The art of ducking. You know what I mean? Whyte is acting like a heavyweight Charlo. Go ahead, man. Nah, Whyte don't. I think Whyte smart, man. I think Whyte smart with this one right here. I think this is a smart move. And like I said, if any other fighter was in this situation, I would hope that they would want to do the exact same thing. You know what I'm saying? The exact same thing. Now, Bob Arum got some more stuff to put on here. He says, now, as far as this thing selling, on what he thinks this is going to do as far as on the sale. Hold on. Bob Arum is saying this, and I put the quote right here in front of y'all, man. Let me get this picture out of the way. According to Bob Arum, he says they are predicting that we will do a fill-up of Wembley, which is 90,000 people. He says that, and that we'll do over 1 million homes on pay-per-view in the UK. So he's saying that they thinking they're going to do over 1 million pay-per-view buys. This is a high benchmarking. I don't know. Maybe, like I said, maybe the enthusiasm in the UK, that's something I just don't know about being here in America. Maybe it's just that high. But over 1 million pay-per-view buys and 90,000 people up in the stadium. That's what they expecting for it to do in the UK. I know that's right, Bob. Sounds good. In the United States, what it do in the United States is important, but it's gravy. When he says it's gravy, that means that whatever comes from the United States is just extra. They not even probably basing their figures on what comes in from the United States because they're not expecting that much. If it does 300,000 homes, that's pretty good added income, according to Bob Arum. So they're not expecting for it to do pretty much nothing here in America. And I don't know if y'all caught news about this one, fight fans. Check this out to my Crawford Nation. Hold on, let me mute the music for a second to my Crawford Nation. They put in this fight on all pay-per-view platforms, fight fans. Oh, but when Terrence Crawford has a pay-per-view with Showtime Sean Porter, oh, they put it on ESPN Plus. Bob Arum says, oh, this won't be on ESPN Plus. Oh, we're putting this on all available pay-per-view platforms. It won't be hard to find, fight fans. And we wonder why Bud Crawford put what he put in his lawsuit, if anybody wondering. My man Bud Crawford did 135,000 alleged pay-per-view buys with Sean Porter on ESPN Plus. They don't give him the benefit of the doubt of putting him on all pay-per-view platforms. But Tyson Fury's ass gets to be put on all pay-per-view platforms, not just ESPN Plus. Ain't that about it? And they still only thinking it's going to do 300,000 pay-per-view buys here in America. So what the hell? Why you ain't putting him on ESPN Plus then? Why you ain't putting him on ESPN Plus if you don't think it's going to do so super well? I'm sure Terrence Crawford versus Sean Porter would have done 50 times better if they would have had the same welcome as this fight. What say y'all? What say y'all? I think so. So if anybody wondering, here it is. Crawford, great fight with Sean Porter. Can't get pay-per-view, but this one can. Foreigners fight fans. Fighters from overseas. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So it is what it is, fight fans. So that's the situation with that, man. And it looked like it don't look like that Dillian Whyte is going to be showing up for this particular thing, man, until the very last press conference, man. And I think, like I said before, fight fans, I think that's the way to go. I think that if Dillian Whyte ain't got no incentive on selling it, if his money is guaranteed, it's locked in, it can't change from how many pay-per-views are sold. He doesn't have to participate in selling it. All he has to worry about is training and winning the damn fight. You know what I'm saying? Low blow champ says Whyte and Fury both be on some wacky shit. They deserve each other. Yeah, they do. You know what I mean? They definitely do. But I tell you what, if ain't nobody selling this, they better keep the fans engaged. Tyson Fury gonna have to be out here on social media every single day, making fun of Dillian Whyte, teasing Dillian Whyte, calling them names, talking bad about him. Y'all gonna see Tyson Fury out here every single day trying to sell this because it's all on him. It's all on him. Now, if it does well, does he get the credit for that? I'd say yes. I'd say yes. So it's going to be interesting. We know what his drawing power is like here in America. But we're going to see what his drawing power is like back home. And see who the real star, who the real draw. Is it him or is it Anthony Joshua? We'll see, fight fans. Because right now, from what I'm standing, it's looking like Anthony Joshua. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it pushing, fight fans. Let us keep it pushing. Let us keep it pushing. Let's see what else we got on the itinerary today. I got to stop right here, fight fans. I got to stop right here. I got to make a stop right here. I got to make a stop right here. Now, I've been meaning to talk about this last week. I touched on this last week, actually, I believe, when we spoke about Oscar De La Hoya coming out, expressing to the public how his new vision, he has a vision for Virgil Ortiz. He has a vision. He's a visionary. He's Oscar the Visionary. He has a vision for Virgil Ortiz, and this vision is for him and Errol Spence Jr. to have a mega fight in Dallas, Texas. So when I heard that, I said, well, you know what? Whatever, man. You know, hey, you got ways to go. You ain't nowhere near that fight. Earl got things to do. Earl got more legacy to worry about. He ain't thinking about Lil Virgil right now. Lil Virgil need to be trying to get to the fastest title shot in Terrence Crawford and stop acting like Crawford is a damn boogeyman. Virgil Ortiz can be talking about Jerome Boots Ennis and trying to knock off Boots and be next in line. There's a lot of things for Virgil. There is. But Oscar keeps saying Errol Spence Jr. Now, we know Oscar, this is what he do. He's great at clout chasing. He's great at building his fighters off clout. Look what he's doing with young Ryan. But this is what Oscar does. He's great at clout chasing. So, with now, the quote, so I was saying to myself at the time, like, nah, man, Oscar's got ways to go, so it's no big deal. Now Oscar's out here at the recent press conference between Virgil Ortiz and his upcoming fight for Michael McKinson. According to Oscar De La Hoya, this is what he got to say. And I put the quote right here on your screen. The WBC is a little complicated sometimes, to say the least. You have to fight an eliminator after an eliminator. This and that. And I don't mind fighting Keith Thurman and forcing that fight to happen. He goes on and says, hold on. He goes on to say, I know Keith Thurman is a fighter and he's a warrior. He'll do the fight, but will his handlers allow him to do the fight? That's the question. If the WBC can order the fight, we'll obviously take it in a heartbeat, end quote. So it looks like Virgil Ortiz, who, this is a very realistic possibility, fight fans. It looked like, now the other day we talked about Oscar talking about Earl, and now he's talking about going via Keith Thurman. This is all WBC talk, fight fans. For those who do not know, Virgil Ortiz is #1 in the WBC, and Keith Thurman, with the new updated rankings per the WBC's website, is now rated #3 in the WBC. Keith Thurman cannot make it to a world title fight with Earl or anyone else for that matter without perhaps going through Virgil Ortiz. Will they do Virgil Ortiz versus Keith Thurman for a final eliminator, with the winner being named mandatory for Errol Spence or whoever has the WBC? Keith has no other route. I've been wondering if Virgil Ortiz would go WBC or WBO. Let's do an update real quick, fight fans. Virgil Ortiz will be fighting Michael McKinson in his next fight. Now, we know that Michael McKinson is rated #3 in the WBO, while Virgil Ortiz is also rated #1 in the WBO. So we putting one and one together and say, well, Virgil must be going down the WBO route because he's facing Michael McKinson, who's not rated in the WBC, or at least in the top 5. But then there's news now that's saying, because if you look at any press release that's out or anything about this Virgil Ortiz and Michael McKinson fight, well, there's nothing saying that this is a final eliminator. There's nothing that's saying that this is an eliminator, period, fight fans, for the WBO. So if this is not an eliminator for the WBO, because technically Virgil still hasn't been named mandatory. Now, he don't have to technically fight an eliminator to be named mandatory, but he hasn't been named the mandatory. Normally, when we're en route to one, we get eliminators. No eliminator for Virgil Ortiz in the WBO unless they come out last minute and change it. I'm hoping so. Because I'm not understanding why so mute when it comes to Terrence Crawford. Like, I tell y'all, fight fans, none of this shit makes sense with Crawford. Fighters get out the way. Sanctioning bodies don't make no more sense. Virgil Ortiz is in the #1 spot facing the number 3 guy in the WBO, and they're not saying that the winner will be the mandatory. They're not saying that because ain't nobody jumping for the mandatory spot. I don't get it. I mean, does the man have the plague or something? Like, what is going on? I just don't understand it. I just truly don't understand it. Now, this flips the script down since I guess Virgil and Oscar's been saying what they've been saying. I'm forced as the boxing fan to look in another direction now and say, well, what's up with Keith and Virgil? I love that fight. Y'all don't want that fight? Who y'all got? Is Keith at this point back enough to take on the caliber of a Virgil Ortiz? That's a tough question, fight fans. That's a very tough question. This is a very realistic possibility. This is what Oscar is talking about. Oscar said they'll take that fight in a heartbeat. If Keith want to get back to that WBC Mando, Keith is the one that jumped out last fight, remember? Ahead of the game. Well, the WBC showed up to test me, to test my weight. So this must be some sort of eliminator match. And then we find out, no, it is an eliminator match. It wasn't a final eliminator. But Keith literally was just involved in the WBC eliminator, which means he got one more to become the mandatory. We'll let one more be Virgil Ortiz. I like the fight. It's not a bad fight, fight fans. It's not a bad fight. It's a good-ass fight. And at this point, I don't know Keith's second fight back. Is he really ready for Virgil if it comes to that? And Keith would have to be ready for that because the WBC is not going to overlook Virgil in that situation. They're just not going to do it. He's already had one of their secondary belts before. This is the fight that Oscar and them are signaling that they want. When it comes to Crawford, I don't know where Oscar really stands at for real. I just don't know. I don't know if him and Bob Arum behind the scenes are working together like the box out Bud. I don't know. I truly have no idea. But I just know that he ain't talking about Bud in the same fashion he's talking about everybody else. Where we at for real? So if Virgil don't, because I'm hope, man, I want to see the WBO. And you know what, man? I just thought about it. Shit. Virgil's been number 1 before. He's dropped down before. We've seen it before, right, fight fans? This ain't nothing new under the sun. If Virgil decides not to become the mandatory, hell, this will be the second time he did the shit. He's been number 1 before. Him and Sean Porter were playing musical chairs. Him, Sean Porter, and Danny Garcia were playing musical chairs with the number 1 spot in the WBO at once upon a time. So I don't know, bro. This is crazy. So Keith might want to keep his third eye open. Because if this is not going to be a Crawford thing, fight fans, this is going to become a Keith thing. Now, would PBC make this? Politically, I got a hard time believing it. I don't know. I have a hard time. But in sanctioning body-wise, how would this go? Will they say Keith ain't available? If Virgil pulls strings and Oscar pulls strings to try to be the mandatory in the WBC, I mean, what would Keith do? He would have to take that fight, right? This is interesting. This is very, very interesting, fight fans. Virgil Ortiz versus Keith Thurman. And you know that they are looking at Keith right now, probably licking their chops. Virgil is going in with his father as the trainer now, him and Manny Robles. We know that Virgil has now left Robert Garcia. And he's now working with his dad and Manny Robles. And this is another situation, fight fans. And we about to talk a little bit more about this with Ryan Garcia. I believe when it comes down to time between a young fighter and a trainer. And I believe that the reason Virgil probably got away from Robbie Garcia is because Robbie Garcia is tremendously in demand. Robbie Garcia got a lot of fighters. Robbie Garcia has a huge stable, and usually when you get coaches, fight fans in situations like that, that's tough for a young fighter. He needs extra tutelage, especially if he have a lot of potential in his future. He can't get a week of tutelage while he's been working for someone else for 8-9 weeks. You know what I mean? And then you come around the last 2-3 days when the cameras come around and say, oh yeah, I'm the trainer, like Freddie Roach do with Manny Pacquiao. Some fighters just need a little bit extra. And so we see Virgil Ortiz now linking up with his father, who he says primarily has been training him for the most part anyway. And it's always good to have a good, wise opinion in the corner like Manny Robles. So we'll see how this translate into Virgil Ortiz's style. We'll see. We'll see. I'm actually glad he got away from Robert, to be honest with you. Y'all know, for those who don't know, I'm not super high on Robert Garcia. I think all of Robert Garcia's fighters are limited. They come out the same kind of way each and every time, swinging punches and bunches, no defense, and careers can be easily shortened. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm actually glad that Virgil is getting away from him. Virgil, to me, is more of a boxer puncher. He has much more skill than the average Robert Garcia fighter, in my opinion, and a certain skill set that needs to be developed a bit different than how Robert Garcia develops his fighters. So I think this is a really good thing for him. But Keith better beware. And this kid is coming. We're going to be watching this fight between Michael McKinson and Virgil Ortiz that's coming up real soon. So after that fight, we're going to be watching the movement in these sanctioning bodies. You know what I'm saying? I want to see what's up. Yo, Muhammad Tola says, Oscar is trying to buy a big name for Ortiz, and Thurman is a big name. Coming off of a long layoff. He got to pay big if he wants one time. Absolutely. Oh, it's definitely going to come down to a pay thing. And, I mean, Oscar better, he's going to be watching that. I mean, we know, like I say, Keith looked a little bit, cold in his first fight back or whatever like that. He didn't stop Mario Barrios, and people see some vulnerabilities to the body still exist. And so maybe this is, if this is the best time to jump on Keith, the time is now. The time is now. If Keith continues to get his feet wet and continue to get his rhythm back, 2 fights from now, it's going to be a tougher fight for Virgil. It's going to be a tougher fight. Interesting fight, though, fight fans. Interesting fight. Lewis Coleman says, I love the fight. I would love to see Keith with one more fight and then Ortiz. That's the way it might work out, Lewis. That's exactly how it might work out, because he got Michael McKinson, right? And afterwards, they were trying to line up another fight for also Virgil Ortiz. But I mean, by the time that he gets this McKinson fight out the way and come back around and want to fight again, Keith should have had enough time to come back in the ring and get another touch too. We'll see, man. I hope PBC play along, man. PBC been shutting so much shit down, bro. It's hard to say. I mean, I just look at the sanctioning bodies and where these 2 fighters are ranked, and it's hard for these 2 not to see each other. It's going to be very hard for these 2 not to. Unless they order Keith towards another eliminator with somebody else, it's going to be or unless Virgil Ortiz pursues the WBO route, it's going to be very hard for Virgil and Keith not to run into each other. It's going to be a cracking ass fight if we get that shit. You know what I'm saying? Muhammad Tola says, Oscar had an interview in Spanish on ESPN Deportes and said that Bud had a lawsuit against Arum and he doesn't want to get in between as far as making Crawford versus Ortiz. Oh, man. Salute to my brother Muhammad Tola for dropping that, man. Oh, that's terrible to hear, bruh. I had a feeling something like that could be possibly at play, man. I had a strong feeling something like that can be at play. Damn, something like, well, because, ever since they came out with Oscar and Bob going to eating lunch at Bob's house and chilling and all that good stuff, I said to myself, that don't sound too cool. That don't sound good for Bud. So maybe, yeah, he don't want to ruin that relationship. And that's where Eddie Hearn probably stands at as well. Eddie Hearn probably in that same stance. That's crazy. I have no reason not to believe if Oscar takes a stance like that Eddie Hearn won't take the same damn stance. Damn, that's crazy. We'll see, fight. So that's why they probably talking up Virgil, and that's why they talking up PBC the way they are. Damn, that just goes to show you how much these dudes sticking together behind the scenes, no matter what they say publicly, fight fan. It don't matter. This is how the boxing fraternity is what they call it. The boxing fraternity behind the scenes stick together and try to X out fighters. Look at this. This will be a great opportunity for Virgil Ortiz. Don't make no damn sense. Let's keep it pushing, fight fans. Let's keep it pushing. That hurts to hear, man. That really hurts to hear, Muhammad Tola. It really does. Let's talk about this real quick. this Ryan Garcia stuff. Let's see. Let me make sure I got all the right artwork up, man. Damn. All right. I want to talk about Ryan Garcia and this Canelo Alverez beef. Hold on. Put this right here. All right, cool. So, Ryan Garcia has now taken to social media, fight fans. I'm sure a lot of y'all might have already seen this. Explaining the situation what's going on between him and the Eddie Reynoso camp. And so Ryan Garcia took, and I got this is off of Michael Benson's Twitter. He took a minute to sit down and want to explain from his point of view as to why he left Eddie Reynoso. And we see that Canelo Alvarez has some things to clap back and say about what Ryan Garcia is saying. So this is what Ryan Garcia has to say. Well, I guess in response to Canelo. And that is, Canelo doesn't know the facts. The first camp I had with Eddie went great, and then everything went bad. He only showed up 2 weeks before the Fonseca fight. And that's when I first asked my manager to talk to him about finding a new trainer, and Virgil Ortiz left because Eddie never showed. Damn. Frank Sanchez had a fight with Eddie. He only showed up the day of the fight. So ask Canelo to explain that. Let's stop the back and forth and focus on the fight at hand. By the way, I got nothing but respect for Eddie. It's just the truth. The truth is also that it's not even the main reason that I left. Decided to part ways. Canelo knows why. I'm just going to keep it to myself and focus on the fight that I have. So let me stop right there. He is saying that he alluded to in those first 2 tweets that it was about time. He's not getting enough quality time with Eddie. That's what he alluded to in the first 2 tweets. In the last tweet, he alluded to something different. Like there's more to it that we just not going to talk about publicly. And I can only imagine, our imaginations, right, fight fans, can only wonder and run to what exactly young Ryan is talking about. It could be a million things. It could be Canelo starting a promotional company and wanting to sign or pluck him off from Oscar. It could be a million things, fight fans. I have no idea. But Ryan is saying that there's more to this story that we're just not going to get into. I only wonder. Now, fight fans, this comes, of course, Canelo Nation don't want to hear none of this. And Ryan is the worst thing in the world right now. He's lying. He's lazy. Canelo came out here and put him in his place. And now he's just trying to come on back behind Canelo and trying to make it seem like, nah, it wasn't a thing about that. When Canelo was making it about discipline and effort and stuff like that. And Canelo Nation is walking in lockstep with him. Yep, Ryan has no discipline. Yep, he has no this and he has no that. According to Canelo Alverez, and I'll put the quote right here on your screen. Oh, hold on. Wrong quote. Oh, got a little ahead of myself. Hold on. Sorry about that. This one right here. He says, I don't know what happened. I don't know what he's thinking. He says he wants more time, right? Eddie has all the time for him. Eddie was here in Christmas of 2020, New Year's of 2021, everything for him when he fought with Luke Campbell on January of 2021. Then what happened? Something with him, I'm not sure. So Canelo is making it like Eddie's always been there, giving you all of the time you want. Now keep in mind, fight fans, Eddie Reynoso's gym is supposedly popping right now, right? Frank Sanchez, Oscar Valdez, Canelo Alvarez. I'm missing one. Oh, Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz left though, right? Andy Ruiz has already left. Andy Ruiz. He had a popping gym. He had a lot of guys to attend to. Andy Ruiz was on pay-per-view. Frank Sanchez climbing through the ranks. And as I said before, with Ryan Garcia, he seems to be a fragile little dude. Little fragile little thing, you know what I mean? Don't talk to him too loud. Don't yell at him too much. Oh, soft little fragile little thing. And he may need some extra attention. He may need the extra confidence boost. And for that purpose alone, it's like I said, it's not smart. It's great And as much as he may look up to Canelo and respect Eddie Reynoso, it's not good for Ryan. Because at the end of the day, Canelo takes precedence over any and everything. Whenever he got a fight, if you ever got a fight around the same time as Canelo, do not expect the same attention. Because that's Canelo. I remember how Floyd Mayweather's cut man. Remember, the cut man that passed away. May he rest in peace. And how, like, if he was doing, like, other fights on the undercard, whenever it was time for Floyd's fight, that dude would literally walk out the corner in the middle of a fight, whoever he's stitching up to get ready for Floyd's fight in the main event. It's like precedence. It's like what they think that takes precedence. A was paying me more, and B, precedence. It's just, that's the way it goes. And for a fighter like Ryan Garcia, man, he may need to go and get more attention from somewhere else. Somewhere he can be more of the primary guy. I think that is better for a young fighter. I think a young fighter just needs that more TLC. They need to be talked to more. You might got to call them, in the late night, just check on them, make sure that they straight. They may need confidence boost more. They need more tutelage. They're still learning. And I don't know who's right and who's wrong here. I can sit back and say, well, Ryan is right. I can sit back and say Canelo's right. I don't know, fight fans. But I will say is I think that the split, honestly, as crazy as this may sound, is the best thing for Ryan Garcia. Go somewhere, if it's a discipline thing or not. If it's a discipline thing, another coach is going to say the same thing. You can trust and believe. Especially if he's going to Goosen? Nah, it's going to come out. If he having disciplinary issues, it's going to come out. Those don't just turn on and turn off. Remember Victor Ortiz, how he used to always be dogged with that, no matter what coach he was with. You know what I'm saying? Adrian Bronner, same thing. If you're a certain kind of way, it will continuously show. Coaches will continuously come out. I remember Bronner had an issue with Stafford at once upon. Then they didn't work out. Go over to Kevin Cunningham. Kevin Cunningham wasn't liking the fact that he was cutting certain corners. You know what I'm saying? Then that came out. It's going to come out. If it's a disciplinary thing with Ryan. If it's a time thing with Ryan. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But Canelo is saying that it's a discipline thing. You know what I'm saying? And just because Canelo's the champ, everybody believes Canelo. Canelo goes on and says, and I quote, Eddie has all of the fighters. You ask every one of them, if you have the time to put in the gym and train good with discipline, Eddie is always going to be there with you. I've been with Eddie for a lot of years. I saw when a lot of good fighters come to the gym. Really good fighters. And Reynoso is here all the time. If you come and train for only 20 minutes, then you don't come for 4 days, 3 days, okay. Then the next day you say, I come in at 12 and then come in at 2. So you need to be disciplined. You can ask everybody. Oscar, Valdez, Frank Sanchez. I don't know what happened with Andy Ruiz. It's the same. He came one day, then he don't come. End quote. So that's what Canelo is saying. It's a discipline thing. They're not working hard enough. They're not focused. We'll see. I can call Ryan fragile. I can say he caps a lot. He lies a lot, which makes it hard to believe him. I can say his heart can be questioned at certain times. But I don't know. I can say he may be, like I say, a bit spoiled or if you want to look at him crying, Ryan, fragile, spoiled little kid, maybe so. And he's crying and screaming over time, maybe so. I feel like I deserve more time, maybe so. Maybe so. But if he feels that way, then he should leave. And I think the split should be amicable, you know what I'm saying? And I get Canelo just taking up for his guy, man. Reynoso is his dude. Y'all got to understand, Canelo going to ride or die for Eddie Reynoso. I mean, ride or die for Eddie Reynoso. You know what I mean? So we'll see. Now, more about Canelo Alverez. All right, young Ryan. I hope it works out for you, bruh. And like I said, both of these dudes have been caught lying so much in the past for one reason or the other. It's hard to say where the answer really lies. I just think, once again, this is the best move for Ryan Garcia. So I want to go over to this real quick, fight fans. I want to go over to this. So, the Canelo versus Bivol talk. Now, I want to stop with this. First off, man, I'm looking at the reporting about what they saying about my man Bivol, man. Bivol is not getting no, he ain't getting no friendly reporting, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Everybody looking at this is like some easy little fight. Like, oh, it's going to be nothing. And who is Bivol? And Bivol ain't this. And Bivol ain't that. Hey, look, man. I keep telling y'all giving Dmitry Bivol a bad rap. Y'all giving him a bad rap, champ. I truly think that Dmitry Bivol has a really, really good chance in this fight with Canelo Alverez on a technical standpoint. Do I think he drops and stop Canelo Alvarez? Hell nah. Look at Bivol's last 6 fights in unanimous decision. It can be argued ever since Dmitry Bivol really stepped up the belly competition that he's been getting all decisions. And I will admit that. But I can't sit back and I don't know what people watching are saying that his performances are so bad. I went back and watched the Craig Richards fight and the Salamov fight. And yeah, like I said, it wasn't super stellar performances, but he like beat these dudes by huge margins. Like, it wasn't no close fight. These wasn't no 2-round, 3-round fights. Like, he beating these cats by major significant margins. And I'm sorry, fight fans. I mean, I just think that everything that Dmitry Bivol brings to the table could give Canelo Alvarez a bit of problem. Look, Dmitry Bivol has a lightning fast jab. I ain't seen Canelo deal with a jab as fast as Bivol's. Probably since Laura, I want to say. Bivol has a snapping turtle type jab. Pow! He has a whip of a jab. Whip, fast, pow. As we know, Canelo is great at ducking and countering. Bivol is not the super tallest opponent nor the longest opponent in far as like lanky or in length. He can flick a jab out fast enough and get it back for the counter. How would Canelo deal with that? Bivol is a combination puncher, which means normally after he flicks that jab out, you better watch out because he'll throw 3 more shots right behind that. That's Dmitry Bivol. Some say, well, but main man, in order for him to fight that way, he got to get hit. And I will agree with that. He does get hit, but he does know how to use his feet. And he is big. The only thing that he will have to really, really worry about is overexerting himself because, like I say, Canelo has now become a fighter of more based on patience, where he's even looking to give up a 1, 2, 3 rounds. He's looking to carry his power through all 12 rounds now. He don't want to jump out there and blow his stamina and blow his load. And that ain't Canelo Alvarez no more. He'll give up 1, maybe even 2, maybe even 3 rounds. But if he does that against Dmitry Bivol, what does that look like? What does that look like? I like this fight. I think this is a good-ass fight. Now, do I like the entire deal? Hell nah. Do I like the Gennady Golovkin fight? Hell nah. And whatever third fight that Eddie Hearn is talking about, you can keep that shit too. Do I want to see Jermall Charlo before Bivol? Hell yeah. Do I want to see Demetrius Andrade before Bivol? Hell yeah. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to shit and act like Bivol is a bad fight. I only can wish that Canelo would continue to stay fight by fight. Maybe give us Bivol, then turn around and go over to PBC, give us a Charlo or Benavidez or maybe Andrade on his side, whatever. But I don't like the way that they're structuring that deal from the zone, man. You know what I'm saying? I truly don't. Now, Canelo Alvarez, people are wondering, well, what the hell is Charlo going to do? What the hell is Charlo going to do, man? I mean, does this mean that Charlo and Benavidez should not fight? Just because Canelo chose Dmitry Bivol and he's going to make astronomical amounts of money for easier fights that some perceive? Well, I'm just going to say this. I agree with Canelo when he says, well, what the hell is Charlo and the rest of them doing? I don't buy the bullshit, fight fans. Y'all got to understand, y'all know how I feel about this. Just because one thing is going on doesn't mean it can stop something else. Canelo Alverez is saying, and I quote, but they need to fight each other too because they're just waiting on me because they want a good payday. So I know that. They need a fight to fight each other. And I can fight the winner of all of them, end quote. I'm going to say that last part one more time. I can fight the winner of all of them, end quote. Keep in mind, fight fans, this is not the first time I've heard Canelo Alvarez say this shit. This is what people want to keep ignoring. Everybody want the fast track shit. When the fast track don't work, if you don't get picked in the sweepstakes, you continue to do what you do. David Benavidez, in his recent interviews, is well on record telling everybody, I'm willing to continue my career. I am not sitting around waiting on no damn Canelo Alvarez. Any of these dudes want to step up, then step the fuck up. That's what David is saying. I've heard it. Dog, we at the point now where you can kind of know because these dudes been saying the same thing over and over again. Andre, same thing. I'll fight any of these dudes. Who gonna step up? Who where to fight at? I've been trying to fight these dudes. But then when I looked at Charlo, it's hold up, wait a minute. He can't do that. He can't do this. He can't go over there. He can't do nothing when it comes to Charlo. No. We're going to call this shit out. See, this is what I be talking about with this shit. These dudes need to fight. Charlo said, I'm willing to go up to face Canelo, go up in weight, right? Because Canelo brings so much to the table. Fine. You don't get the Canelo fight. If David Benavidez in his very next fight is fighting for the WBC interim title, which means that if he wins his next fight, right, he will pretty much be in a mandatory position again. Jermall Charlo sits down at the WBC at 160. If you want to move up as the WBC champion, because you say that David Benavidez got shit to offer, why don't you move your ass up and fight David for his WBC interim? Win the WBC, become the mandatory to Canelo at 168, and force Canelo to abide by the words that he is telling you right here on the screen. I will fight the winner of all of them. You say that David got nothing to offer. Well, if he have a WBC interim championship, he got more than enough to offer. He has the available spot to fight Canelo Alvarez. Now, keep in mind, fight fans, Jermall Charlo is already occupied that down at 160 pounds. I totally get it. And he never got to fight. But the man is telling you. Fight each other. Pressure bust pipes. You beat one of these dudes. How can Canelo resist? Nobody don't want to put no damn work in, man. He just supposed to get it. Everybody just supposed to get it. I'm not happy with the way that Canelo moves. But Canelo is going to move the way he's going to move because they paying him so much money to move that way. Why can't these dudes do a better job of getting some big wins and making the roar of the crowd rise up, forcing Canelo to the table, forcing him to say, you know what? Charlo beat Benavidez. It's not going to look right for me not to fight. How would that look for Canelo? Not to fight him. I'm just saying, do your part to apply the pressure. Don't stop your legacy and career waiting for Canelo. I'm sorry, man. And this is where I'm like, look, man, look. They got to stop being this way, bro. You got to go after your own damn legacy, bruh. If he going to go fight Bivol, fine. Fuck it. That don't stop. You and Benavidez is a huge fight. That shit can suck up so much air in boxing. That'll be one of the hottest fights in boxing. Where's the downside, fight fans? That's what I'm asking. Can somebody give me a downside? Man, when y'all said, because now that we've now checked the box of something to offer, which is the WBC interim championship where Canelo got the WBC, what do you got, the WBC belt? You can fight me for the man. And this is something that, like I said, David Benavidez has been said. I'm looking at headlines of Eddie Hearn talking about something. Well, we're going to contact Charlo's promoter, or we're going to contact Benavidez's promoter and try to make the fight for Andre. And Eddie Hearn knows that he ain't got no kind of chance in no kind of hell to make that fight. Especially at no 168 pounds when Andre ain't got a belt. PBC just not going to play ball. It's unfortunate. But let's call it for what it is, fight fans. And let's stop this doing this shit. Hey, look, man, this man literally put this. When I seen this shit, I ain't gonna lie, I just laughed a little bit. This dude literally put the. Look at this. They need it because this year I'm busy. He's shutting the whole fucking year down. He telling y'all I'm shutting the year. Dog, we in what? February, March. We at the beginning of the year. And he is literally shutting the whole year down. Letting y'all know that I ain't even going near y'all this year. So what y'all gonna do? So if you know that there is no part of the fucking year that you're gonna be able to fight Canelo Alverez, what the hell are we waiting for? What are we waiting for, fight fans? I mean, he's off the table. He's going to go fight Bivol. And another thing about everybody that keep criticizing my man Bivol. Dog, y'all say, well, because he's undefeated as hell and he's a champion. Long-reigning champion at that. But, he looked bad against this fighter. He looked bad against that fighter. Did Charlo look great against Korobov? Riddle me that. Did he look great against Korobov? Did he look great against Montiel? Riddle me that. Why are we comparing this shit to Bivol? We can go through every fighter and say, well, what performance looked good and didn't look good. We could do that through all of them. I think competitively that Bivol is the best. He's disciplined between fights. You don't see him blowing up in weight. You don't see this. You see him getting in that ring, whether it's a big crowd, small crowd, big name, small name, and getting the job done each and every time. And he still has perhaps the best win of the class. I get it. They may say Beterbiev number one because he's unified. He beat Marcus Brown for that belt. So, I know, and look, and I'm not, if y'all want to see Beterbiev and Canelo, that's cool too. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, I just think that Bivol just getting the short end of the stick. But Charlo, man, and Benavidez, I ain't even jumping on Andre because Andre over there with DAZN. I'm talking about Charlo and Benavidez. Take your mind, fight fans. I got videos going back at least 2 years talking about Charlo and Benavidez. Ronnie Shields comes out. Oh, well, he can't go to 168. There's nothing to offer. Why would we go to 168? Who David Benavidez? He lost his shit on the scales. Well, he's going for the WBC interim belt in his next fight. He'll perhaps be the mandatory. They will have forced Canelo on the record. You get winner, Canelo. Well, then again, Canelo gonna go face Triple G at the end of the year, right? I guess next year. 2023. That shit crazy, Sean. That shit crazy. You putting your rent money on Bivol. Hey, I ain't going that damn far. I'm just saying I don't think it's a bad fight. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a really good fight. And once again, this is a fight that Dmitry Bivol, what people got to remember, he's been calling for this fight for years. He's been saying that he got what Canelo's been missing for years. For years. I do not see this as a bad fight. I think if anybody want to say, well, what reason do you think Canelo chose Bivol aside from the money and it being perhaps the easiest fights out of the three? I mean, also, you look at the fact, like I say, Dmitry Bivol is coming off 6 UDs. That's why Canelo chose him. He don't think the power was a sure thing. He looking at Bivol as a boxing twinkle toes. That's what he see. I think he get a chance, man. Do I see Canelo blowing Bivol out? No. Do I see Canelo stopping Bivol? No. No, I don't see it. I'll be surprised if he stops Dmitry Bivol. Unless Canelo hit him with one of them counter shots uppercuts that he like to land all the time. Salute to my brother Knockout Boxing 86 TV, man, on deck. Hey, Knockout, man. Let me make sure you might. I fucks with Knockout, man. I gave you a blue suit, Knockout. Salute to my Knockout 86 TV. What's good, man? What's good to my homie Knockout, man? Just chilling, just talking this real spill tonight, man. Covering some of the fight news, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate you riding with me out there, man. Everybody, man. Check out Knockout, man. That's good peoples right there, man. That's definitely good peoples, man. Salute, man. Adrian the Problem, Bron on deck. Salute, man. Salute to the real boxing fans and salute to the DMV. I appreciate that, AB. I appreciate you, man. Low Blow Champ says, yeah, they got to pave their own path. It's getting old watching these guys stand around and look at each other. Yeah, it is. It's getting very old, bro. It's getting very old. And I got to, like I said, I have to agree with Canelo Alverez on this one. And I get it. I mean, unless somebody can tell me that Jermall Charlo is doing something else, is doing something better than David Benavidez, and I'm like, okay, I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? But, bro, these dudes need to fight each other, man. Shit, Caleb Plant's still in the mix. He can move up and fight Caleb Plant. Maybe you take that too. But I just need to see something, man. And I'm tired of seeing posturing. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no more excuses, man. Canelo going about his own little money path. Hey, he gone. So what's up? Do y'all want to take the mantle at this point? Do y'all want to take the attention and make a fight together? That's all it would take. That shit would take over boxing. It would, I ain't going to say dwarf Canelo fight. Canelo's going to do what Canelo going to do. But shorty, it would suck up just as much air in the sport of boxing, I believe, as the Canelo fight. You know what I'm saying? D-Lo says, yo, Canelo damn near got a guaranteed win because it's highly unlikely that Bivol gets the KO. Yeah, I don't see either, fam. I do not see Bivol stopping Canelo Alvarez. Outboxing him, which is still going to be an uphill battle, given it, they talking about Las Vegas, T-Mobile. And I hear there's some news coming out about them possibly moving this thing to Dubai or something to that effect, saying that there's more money out there and stuff like that. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? We'll see how this all goes. With everything that's playing out in the world right now, plans could change on the whim, fight fans. There's no telling. But clearly the WBA in this situation, as we covered earlier, well, they're not taking the stance as the rest of the sanctioning bodies. The WBA is saying, yeah, we understand things like that going on, but shit, we got Canelo versus Bivol, bruh. We'll take that stance after this is over. They not doing it. You know what I mean? D-Lo says, Andre and Benavidez have been trying to fight the best of the rest, from Plant to Charlo to Triple G and to each other. Yeah, Andre to Benavidez, 100%. Maybe that's why Eddie Hearn says, you know what, I'm going to try to go at David. The sad thing about that is that David, he ain't going to pay to make no moves happen if PBC don't allow him to jump. These suits, man. These suits. Blocking so many fights. Shutting us down on so many fronts. You know what I'm saying? I hope Demetrius Andre figure it out, bruh. I truly do, man. I mean, because that shit ain't even funny no more, bro. Like, that's just... It's like, I'm not... Like I said, fight fans, sometimes we can laugh and when you see fighters ducking other fighters and it's funny, ha, 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 this guy got leverage over the other guy sometimes. But when you like Demetrius Andre's situation where it's been going on this damn long, fight fans, it ain't funny no more. It just not, it becomes not funny no more. You know what I'm saying? What is he going to do at 168? They talking about this Zach Parker stuff, man. Fight. Eddie really don't want to do this. Y'all can clearly tell Eddie clearly don't even want to do the fight. He gave up the purse bid to Frank Warren. I was listening to Eddie in a recent interview. He was like, I only lost it by 70,000. If you think I didn't really want to fight. He didn't really want to fight. He says he tired of wasting money on the Andre fights. And until he gets someone of recognizable name, then... And I believe David Benavidez is fighting David Lemieux in this next fight. That's going to be a cracking ass fight. I mean, as far as aggression towards one, I see a stoppage coming for sure. I got David stopping Lemieux ass. You know what I'm saying? But he going to get the WBC interim with that fight. What the hell is Charlo doing? Andre, 2 fights. I hate talking about that shit, bro. I every time, bro, I get to this point. I get to this frustrated point with Andre and Charlo and that whole Benavidez, that whole Gennady Golovkin, all of these dudes, man. Chris Eustank, all of them. That whole little middleweight crew from 160 and 68, man. When it comes to all of them dudes, man, it's just, I just don't understand it. I just truly don't understand it, bro. I truly don't understand it. My brother John Page, Batman, is on deck. What's up, man? What's going on? He say, man, they scared of Boo Boo Andre. Yeah. Yeah. But that's why you will never see me clown him. That's why I don't do it. That's why I'm done. And I got my criticisms on Dmitry Andre, but not right now. I can't do that to a duck fighter. That man is clearly being ducked. Clearly being ducked. And don't get me wrong, fight fans. We not like letting Canelo ass off the hook. Because, yeah, he's supposed to fought Charlo back in the day when they were in the same sanctioning body, same weight class, the whole 9 yards. But the point I want everybody to understand is that regardless of the moves that Canelo made, right or wrong, which we all see is wrong, he made them. Time waits for no man. The last time we seen Charlo was against Montiel. They don't have nobody for him to fight, but they won't allow him to fight the big fights. I don't get this shit. It's like boxing be doing that shit, bro. It frustrates you to that effect sometimes. It's like, unless you can come and tell me that Charlo is fighting someone better, or he has every reason to stay at 160 to fight who? Jaime Munguia? They maneuvering Munguia away from him. So who? If Canelo got all the belts at 68, nobody got a belt, bruh. So Ronnie Shields or Charlo can't come out and say, oh, well, he ain't got nothing. Nobody got nothing to offer. The only one, aside from Canelo, that got something to offer at 68 is David Benavidez, because he going from the mandatory for the interim belt. That Charlo was the WBC champion. He is the only one that got something to offer to Charlo. While y'all running around saying that Benavidez got nothing to offer. Who else gonna offer you anything at 168 pounds, fight fans? Let's call it shit for what it is. I need to get a Charlo versus Benavidez. Come on, man. Let's call that for what it is. That shit now is played, bruh. That shit that Ronnie Shields and Charlo said. It's over with. Well, what does he got to offer? What does anybody got to offer? With that position, you ain't gonna fight nobody at 168. Shit don't make no sense, fight fans. It don't make no sense. All right, fight fans. So before, as I always do, towards the end of We Talking Boxing Live, you know, I'm gonna pause around for a few minutes to see. I'm gonna open up the phone lines, and if anybody wanna call me up and say, talk about anything in the sport of boxing, anything that's on the sport of boxing that's on your minds, feel free to do such. The phone lines are officially open. I'll hang around for a couple of minutes. You know what I'm saying? If anybody call me up, y'all know I'm gonna answer, and we can chop it up a little bit and see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta tell y'all, fight fans, it's a lot of good stuff, a lot of moving around going on in boxing, man, and we got to keep our eyes on all these little tricks, man, that's be happening in the sport, man, because they be trying to pull a little wool over our eyes, man. D-Lo 44 Boxing says, Plant just called Charlo out again. Maybe he will take that one. Why? I mean, and then I would even wonder, because at this point now, it looks kind of bad if you take Plant and don't take Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? Like, that to me look a little bad, because fuck you fighting Plant for? I mean, I ain't saying it's not so bad. I'm down to watch the fight. But he ain't got no belt. He ain't in no position. Unless he's like in line for a mandatory shot or something, what are you fighting Plant for? Go get David Benavidez. Give the fight that the fans want to see. Fans will respond to that fight. If you want to put it on Showtime, may even be pay-per-view caliber. Real close. But if you putting fucking Keith Thurman and Mario Barrios on pay-per-view, I'd pay for this before I pay for that any day of the week, twice on Sundays. Any day of the week, twice on Sundays. So my reason for saying, look, you could have, you know what I'm saying? Oh, Thanks about that. Thanks, D-Lo. Appreciate it. I had the thing open. Now, the thing I was saying is, yeah, I mean, look, man, any day of the week, twice on something. Before they give us Caleb Plant and Jermall Charlo, I'd rather see David Benavidez. Put it on pay-per-view. Whatever they want to do to pay the fighters. They did Keith Thurman and Barrios, fine, whatever. That's something that I honestly would pay for. That's just me, though. I can't say for me, I'd pay for that fight. There's nothing but upside in that fight for me as a boxing fan. I'd pay for that fight. I really would. And it'd be crazy. They could have threw something like that on the card with Barrios and Thurman. It would have just, beefed up the card a little bit. What are they saving that fight for, fight fans? I hope they do it, man. I hope they do it. The winner emerges. And whoever emerges from that fight gonna be one powerful momentum having ass fighter who gonna have a lot of boxing capital. I mean, a lot. They're gonna be able to come out and call names. They're gonna be able to walk around boxing with they held high and seen perhaps as the best fighter at the class. It's gonna look foolish for Canelo Alverez to look the other way if one of these dudes fought each other and came out on top. It would look, how could Canelo escape that shit? I would never, I don't see it. Especially if it's David Benavidez. Don't happen. Because that's when his fan base is going to respond. That's when his fan base is going to respond, which is his biggest fear. His biggest fear is not if Charlo wins. His biggest fear is if Benavidez wins. Because now they're going to be fighting for the same fans. Interesting, fight fans. Interesting. The problem is that sometimes the fighters in suits don't want the same fights that the fans want. Yeah, that happens more often than not, D-Lo. Knockout says, you see that they are not allowing Beterbiev and Smith Jr. to unify, but they are still going to let Bivol fight Canelo. Disgusting. Yeah, that's the WBA, fam. That's what we were talking about earlier, man. All of these sanctioning bodies took that stance that they're not, getting involved in any fight with Russian fighters and all of that other stuff. Every sanctioning body except the WBA. Canelo will be fighting Dmitry Bivol for the WBA. Funny, bruh. Disgusting. You called it, bro. You called it. I'm trying to get to your caller. Hold on. First caller of the night on deck. What's up, man?
What's up, man?
Hey.
It's D-Ray, bro.
What's up, D-Ray? How you doing, bro?
I'm excellent. Because we talking boxing, man. What's happening with you?
Man, I'm chilling, man. I appreciate you hitting me up, man. I appreciate you. You enjoy those fights last weekend, D-Ray?
Yes, sir. Just not the, the controversy, and that's what I kind of wanted to call you about was the stoppage in a postal fight. I thought they probably should have let that one go a little bit.
I mean, but you think ain't nothing was going to change, though, right? It wasn't going to be no difference in results, you don't think?
No. No different result, but just the, not the everybody getting knocked out, where right now they can say he stopped everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good marketing tool. It's a good marketing tool to have.
They're going to use that, bro.
Yeah, I just think that, yeah, you can say, let me get rid of this echo. Hold on real quick. I think I got an echo coming on my side. I know how to get rid of it. Hopefully this should work. But, nah, man, I was just going to say, I think that, them letting it go on, I mean, it wouldn't have changed anything. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's better as a marketing tool. And who knows? Was Victor Postal giving anything back? Did he give anything back?
And see, but here's my thing, though, bro, is that the next day my man went off to go fight with the Ukraine, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, bro, that if that's his last fight, man, let him finish like he started. You know what I'm saying? Not and so hopefully he will be able to fight again and all that stuff. But I'm just saying that if that was his last fight or is, I just, didn't want it to be stopped prematurely.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Hey, I see why you're saying. I see why you're saying that, but it could be his last hurrah. Let him go out the right way. Is that how you saying it? Like this could be the last time?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And for Mr. Russell to know, that he might have to train harder or what have you to actually finish the guy. Because, if he says, well, I finished him, and Bud and all those other guys didn't do it, maybe he might, lighten up a little bit. I'm just saying I want him to maximize his skills, because he is a threat to be a champion in that division, no doubt. So, I just want him to earn everything you get, I guess, is basically what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean?
What did you take away from the performance, though? Did you think he did a good performance?
Oh, excellent, bro. Hey, out of the three of them right now, bro, I think he's, at the upper echelon of the Russell brothers, per se,
Yeah.
But, and that's the thing, though, man. Gary just seemed like he a hellified trainer, though, bro. You know what I mean? As good as he was a boxer.
Yeah. Good advice he gave him down the stretch with that right hook, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that worked right on time. That was the punch that did it. You know what I mean? He told him he was looking for that left, and the second he gave him that right hook, it came out of nowhere. It caught him surprised. That was great.
Yeah, that man
great advice.
He almost like a chess master out there, man. He's seeing 3-4 punches ahead.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah, man. I definitely was a fan. I liked the performance. Like I say, the end, I could have went either way. You know what I'm saying? Now that they stopped it, I don't have a problem with it. But to say that he was hurt, I can't say that. But to say that he was giving anything back, I can't say he was giving nothing back. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the reason they stopped it. You know what I mean? What you think?
Absolutely. And I have no qualms about it. Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry about that.
I was going to say what you think about the Josh fight. Did you see the Josh fight? Josh Taylor?
Yeah, man. Josh he got away with another one. It ain't his first one, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's the thing though, man, and that's the difference between him and Colbert, I think, is that he had the people in the stands, more so where they see that he has overwhelming support, where Colbert, he ain't up to that level yet. So it's easier for them to say, okay, Taylor win and Colbert lose.
Man, what went wrong with Chris Colbert, man? What went wrong with him? What went wrong, man?
Check it out, bro. Well, this is the thing I think, and I could be off, but Philly is tough style boxing, right? You have to have a chin, you have to have a beard.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to stand there and trade and swing, you know what I mean? And I just think that once you get up to a certain level, you have to have another tool in the bag, bro. You know what I mean? I mean, we all know he got heart, and he has talent, and skills. He has all that, man. But as far as the maturity, in boxing, I think that's where he probably has to grow a little bit, and that's probably proven in some of the things that he said over the years. You know what I mean? That get people to say, yeah, we knew your day was coming, and here it is. So he just kind of made it easy for him. But the guy that he fought, coming off of short notice,
2 weeks,
he was coming in there to come take that championship, bro.
Yeah. They say Chris Colbert overlooked him. A lot of people think that he was overlooking, running his mouth on social media. He a New York cat, man. He like to talk. He like to be a little brash. And, a lot of people felt like he kind of overlooked them a little bit. Just, counting his eggs before they hatch, especially just being a short notice opponent. And, man, Chris Colbert should have took this shit so serious. Being so close to a world title fight. Because, if he'd have won this, he would have head on into the Gutierrez fight. Man, I'd have took that shit, man, super serious. Like, nothing can go wrong. Not you too close.
Right.
But he
now,
ain't.
and correct me if I'm wrong, but he was going to fight him anyway, right? And that's when they brought this guy in.
Yeah. The other guy got sick or whatever, and this was a short notice dude for 2 weeks. And Chris Colbert insisted. He insisted, like, nah, I still want to fight. He wanted to be in the headliner, the main event. It was his card. Right. He insisted on still fighting, and this is what he came back to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and see, and that's the thing too is you know, but like at the press conference when he talking about he was gonna juggle them and all that, bro. Once you saying all that,
yeah,
there ain't no overlooking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just went in there and took an L, bro.
yeah, exactly, man. Ain't no overlooking, and that's on his part. I almost wonder though, has Chris Colbert's grown man strength kicked in yet, man? You don't think he's ways away from
Now,
that, bro?
how old is he though? I was wondering.
Yeah,
about,
youngin'. We're
like,
24, 25.
like, okay, yeah, he got some time to go. But and see, and that's the thing though, is that if his corner, and I'm just saying this, I don't know, but you know, and his trainer and all that, if they can't give him the advice he need and get him prepared for, you know, this level of fight, then, you know, I mean, how's he supposed to build on that?
Good question. This
Hey, now I got two more for you, bro, and I'm gonna jump out of here so somebody else can get in. But first off, I wanted to ask you is now I heard that you guys' trainer is the same guy that trained Garcia.
That trains which
right?
Garcia? The Ryan Garcia?
No, the Garcia that just beat Colbert.
Yeah.
His trainer is you guys' trainer.
Silas.
So that lets you know that you guys is gonna come in there as well prepared as he can. And then secondly, I wanted to get your thought on Dillian Whyte no-show. Was you okay with that, or did that?
Yeah,
you know?
I talked about it during the live stream. I think that was a good decision because, like I said, man, if you got no incentive on selling no pay-per-views, then what you there selling for? Your incentive is to win and beat the fight. They say, look, we're gonna give you $4 million if you beat Tyson Fury. They giving him no pay-per-view upside, which means that his money is guaranteed. He get $8 million as a base. He get 4 more if he wins. All he need to be worried about is winning. He ain't got to sell a unit, man. For what? I mean, what is it? It's all helping Tyson Fury. Y'all ain't giving me shit. Y'all cut me out the upside deal. Don't expect for me to sell nothing. I'll be in the gym trying to get that extra 4. You know what I'm saying? That's the way to go.
Absolutely.
So I'm with him, man.
And you kind of sounded like the Raiders, huh? Just win, baby. That's all he got to do, huh?
That's all he got to do at this point. Just win. Just win. Don't even worry about no mind games. Don't worry about no press conferences. They ain't paying you for the shit. They don't want to give you, man, don't even worry about it. Just win. That's what if I'm him, that's all I worry about. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you,
Absolutely.
my G. Appreciate you.
Hey, I appreciate you. Salute D-Lo 404. Man, keep talking this boxing, bro.
For sure, man. For sure. Yeah, man, salute to the homie, man. Salute to my homie D-Ray, man, calling through, man, always supporting, holding me down. Much love, much appreciation, man. Yeah, man, I'm sorry, man. I just can't get with the Dillian. I mean, I can't go against Dillian Whyte in this situation, knowing that they tried to screw him so much at the table, dog. And they didn't want to cut him in on no pay-per-view upside. All right, well, fine. Sell that shit your goddamn self. That's just the way it goes. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get up out of here, fight fans, a couple more minutes. If anybody want to call in, you can holler at the main man. If not, I'm going to push on out. Oh, matter of fact, you know what? Scratch that. It's after 9 o'clock, which means we went over 2 hours, fight fans. So I'm going to shut it down regardless. You know what I'm saying? Much love to the fam. Much love to the fam, man. I really appreciate y'all, man, for coming on through, rocking with me tonight, man. This was a impromptu show, you know, last minute show. You know what I'm saying? This was supposed to be for Sunday night. On the next live stream, I'm guaranteed to do a panel. So, you know, if y'all want to pull on up, man, hopefully we have something good to kind of go back and forth over, you know, fiery about. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to really just kind of talk about boxing news. So I'm waiting for something to rise up in the fight game, something real cool to debate about other than Earl Spence Jr. and Terrence Bud Crawford. You know what I'm saying? But something other than that. But if we don't get nothing, then guess what? We're going to be talking about that shit some more. You know what I'm saying? But much love to the fam, man. I appreciate y'all rocking with me tonight. Once again, this was an impromptu show. So salute to everyone that caught this live. And a major salute to everyone that catches this on the playback. You know what I'm saying? Much love to y'all. Thank y'all for all y'all support. Man, y'all stay stressed and sucker free out there, man. Remember, the devil is everywhere, omnipresent, everywhere at the same time. He wants everything in your life ruined. He wants you sad. He wants you depressed. Why you gonna do that, man? You too great. You a champion. You rocking with Main Man and the fam. You part of the fam, and we got you all day. Y'all be good out there and stay blessed, man. And until the next video, y'all, peace out.